the Kimber R7 Mako. Let's check it out. Kimber is introducing their first striker fire polymer frame pistol, the R7 Mako. This is a Micro 9 with higher capacity magazine of 11+1 or 13+1. SIG came out obviously with the P365, which started a revolution, and there are a number of different guns that have followed suit. And Kimber has just taken it a step farther. Of course, Kimber's known for its 1911s and the really high quality finish. Also, their single stack firearms for concealed carry and their revolvers are some of the best on the market. There are a lot of unique features on this pistol, and it makes a great concealed carry option. And we really appreciate Kimber for sending the R7 Mako for this review. The Kimber R7 Mako. This is Kimber's first polymer frame striker fire pistol. And guys, they have really added some features to this to compete really strong with the double stack concealed carry market. But before we get started, let's go ahead and drop our magazine. This is an 11 round magazine +1, and then the chamber is empty. And also included is a 13+1 magazine, which just hangs off the bottom just a touch to give you just a little more of an extended grip. So it's nice to see those higher capacity firearms that give you just more advantage when it comes to concealed carry. But one of the first things that I love is this grip. Guys, this texturing on here is just top notch. It covers a lot of area. I mean, it completely covers the entire frame pretty much. And of course, there are lines through here that are styling lines. But one thing also that I like is this ridge right here next to the slide. And when you grab the pistol, it keeps you from inadvertently getting your hand too high next to the slide. And so it gives you a very natural grip to it. It's aggressive, but not too aggressive. Also, it does have some slight palm swells right here just to give you some extra comfort, and really doesn't add a lot to the firearm. One thing that also differentiates the Kimber from other similar pistols is the shrouded ejection port. And so it's not coming off the top, it's just right here. According to Kimber, this actually gives the slide more rigidity. We'll look at it when we break it down, but the barrel actually fits into the top of the slide, so it's going to give you a really solid lockup. One thing too is when you pull the barrel back, you always have a tilt, but this has a reduced tilt. It's about 1/8 of an inch over your SIG or your Springfield Armory Hellcat. And according to Kimber, this is going to give you just a little more recoil mitigation. The serrations, easy to grab. They're very grippy here at the front for press checks. And of course, you're going to only see it from the side. But I was really impressed with the reliability of the pistol. I was kind of concerned about this type shroud, but man, this thing was flawless. The slide has a really nice finish to it, which is typical for Kimber. I mean, I don't know what they do, but it's just a beautiful matte finish, very smooth. Ambidextrous controls throughout. You have your mag release that is covered, and so that's going to keep it from inadvertently hitting it, and then of course on the left side as well. And then you have your slide stops on both sides. And then the takedown levers are very similar to the Glock where you pull it down. Now, one of the big things about this pistol is its trigger. They use a flat face trigger, and guys, I'm going to tell you up front, this is one of the smoothest triggers I've seen in a polymer frame striker fire pistol. To check the trigger action, just a little bit of take up. I mean, there is not much take up at all. And then a super crisp break. Reset right there. bring it right back. That's a great trigger. And guys, once you pull the trigger, it just stops. So that's really going to aid in even better accuracy, getting quick follow-up shots. We're going to check our trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 4 pounds, 8.3 ounces. 4 pounds, 3.6 ounces. Man, it is crisp and it is nice. Now these are optics ready. You can get two different models. You can get the OR, which means optics ready, or you can get the OI, which means optic installed. And it does come with this Crimson Trace CT1500. Now the CT1500 has a 3 MOA dot and it's motion activated. That means that if you set it down long enough, it'll shut down, and then when you pick it up, it comes back on. It has about a 500 to 650 hour battery life, and it uses the 2032 batteries, which are typical for these sights. This is also compatible with your Shield RMS-C optics, and it gives it a very small sight for this firearm. But again, you can get it without it with just the optics plate. The TrueGlow sights are excellent with the tritium in the front and it's outlined, and then you have a U-notch with 2 dots at the back. But notice that it is definitely spot on. So you can co-witness with this, and if you ever have any issues with your sight, you've got your iron backups. 4 3/4 inches in height, 6 1/4 inches in length, and it's 1 inch. And man, I mean, the controls are so thin that it doesn't add anything to the side of the firearm. I love the low profile slide stop, and then again, this mag release is recessed in here. And then even with a full grip on the pistol, it allows you to be able to hit that mag release. And they do slide out. They don't eject out as much, it's more of it sliding out. And you can hit it from the other side, which does seem to throw it out a little bit better. Now, of course, the SIG P365 started this whole thing, and we're going to kind of look at a comparison with size. We put these back to back. It's about a 1/2 inch difference in barrel length. You have just a little bit of an extension. It's not a whole lot. And then when it comes to the grip, it gets really close, but you do get 1 extra round. And there are extra mag options for the SIG P365, and this has been a very popular option. But one of the things that I noticed right up front was how much better finish the Kimber was. The R7 just has a beautiful finish, while the SIG has that more of an anodized type finish on it. Not to take away from the SIG, it's a great pistol, but this just shows that Kimber comes out with a very well finished firearm. You can see that the R7 Mako has more of an aggressive texturing, whereas the SIG, you know, while it's adequate and I like it, but still you get more confidence with that tighter grip. Now we have the accessory rail right here, and obviously that is going to be set up for a proprietary light, but also the SIG has the same thing. I mean, it's a totally different rail system. Weight on the Kimber R7. 1 pound, 6.6 ounces, or 22.6 ounces. And that is with the micro red dot attached. We really appreciate Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, all made right here in the USA, one of the largest manufacturers of ammunition in the country. Also, we appreciate Lula Loaders for saving our thumbs. It's a lot of rounds for a little bitty gun. Guys, we've reviewed a number of different high-capacity Micro 9s recently, and there's some things that the Kimber really does exceptionally well above the rest. And one is that grip. I mean, that laser textured grip. It's aggressive, but yet it's not too aggressive. But it gives you a lot of confidence when you're gripping the pistol. And it's in a lot of the areas of the handgun. One thing too, though, that's actually more impressive is the trigger. It's got to be one of the best striker fire triggers on the market, regardless of compact or even full-size firearms. It's very crisp. The flat face geometry makes it more natural to shoot, and so I really like that trigger, and it's going to give you excellent accuracy as well. But then you've got those sights co-witnessing with the red dot. Now, whether you choose the red dot or not, those sights are really excellent. The TrueGlow, U-notch sights with that tritium bead at the front. But when you can pair it with that red dot of the Crimson Trace 1500, it's just a really nice sight picture. And if anything ever goes wrong with your sight, then you have those sights for backup. And they're not suppressor height sights, which really gets in the way, especially when you have a small Micro 9. As far as the reliability, it was excellent. We had no malfunctions. We took it out a number of times, shot quite a bit of ammunition through it, and it just functioned. With that kind of unusual ejection port that's kind of covered and shrouded, you know, I didn't know how well it would do, if it would be any kind of interference, but there wasn't. It just fed flawlessly. Going from 11 rounds to 13 rounds, it gives you a lot of capacity and yet adds very little to the grip. And it gives you really more of a full-size grip than your regular single stack. And even though these can be a little snappy, recoil mitigation was really well. With that grip, it gives you a good solid purchase on the firearm. It's very pointable. I like the way the back comes over your hand just a little bit, gives you a little more of a higher ride to the firearm. The serrations are very easy to grab, even front serrations. They're not too abbreviated on the front to make them almost useless. So overall, we had a great experience at the range, full reliability, very accurate, shot very well. I mean, this is going to make an excellent concealed carry option. Now for disassembly, drop your magazine, check to make sure the gun is unloaded. We're going to pull back on our slide, hit our takedown levers, and then we're going to pull the trigger. And then it comes right off the frame. You have your recoil spring and guide rod. It is captive, it is polymer. And then we have our barrel. And that's really all you need to do to field strip. But I'm going to show you a couple of things. First off is just the fit and finish is incredible. I mean, it looks like a black nitride finish and then kind of a matte finish applied to the outside. With the barrel, you'll notice this little section in the top of your slide, and it corresponds with this lockup in the barrel. So when you bring your barrel down, it just nestles into that little slot. And that's going to really give you a lot of stability to your barrel. I've never seen that before. So I think that is really something that Kimber's done to just give you even better accuracy. Now next, we go ahead and put in our recoil spring and guide rod. Just fits in like that. The frame itself, you have your locking block, fairly ample slide rails, short rails at the back, but you can see, I mean, there's a lot of similarities to most of your striker fire pistols, but very well done. Now when we bring it over, we actually just bring it on top, just like this, and then just bring it back. It just fits really fast to the firearm. And test for function, and we're good to go. Now, always with new guns, holsters can be an issue, and so they've already introduced their Kimber holster. This is from Mission First Tactical, just an inside the waistband holster, very well made. But I'm sure that there will be others coming, but check the Kimber website for more options if you're looking for a different way to carry. Pros and cons of the R7 Mako. Good round capacity, 11+1, 13+1. Optics ready. You can get it with it installed or not. I'm really a big fan of the texturing, the laser texturing on the grip. Also with this ridge right here that actually allows you just to kind of fit it into your hand, and the palm swells. Those are some things that you're not seeing on any other firearm. The flat face trigger is phenomenal. I mean, that's the only thing I can say about it. It's just excellent. I love that the sight co-witnesses with the red dot, and you're getting those true glow sights already installed. So whether you go with a red dot or not, you have an excellent sight system. The shrouded ejection port, it's different, but it seems to function very well, and it allows for your slide to have that much more rigidity. And so obviously it can give you better accuracy, and then with that barrel lockup as well. And so those are some of the features that you're just not finding on a lot of the other firearms that are comparable with the R7. As far as cons go, it's just a little bit larger than your SIG P365 by about a ½ inch. And maybe just a touch longer here at the magazine, but obviously you're getting an extra round there. So a lot of options, and really guys, that's about it. I mean, everything else to me is a big positive. I think it's a beautiful gun. It's definitely a unique looking gun, and there are some unique features. Well, and plus I do love the ambidextrous controls, and they're very minimal, so they don't take away from the concealability of the firearm, but they give you more options, especially for those that are left-handed. Manufacturer suggested retail price without the optic is $599. With the Crimson Trace CT 1500, it's going to be $799. And of course, market price is going to be less. But these are brand new to the market. In fact, if you're watching this video on the 19th of August 2021, this is a brand new offering. And so hopefully we'll be seeing these in stores coming soon. And I'm sure there will be extra magazine options available, and we've already seen holsters and other things. So guys, we have a number of different choices with the high capacity Micro 9s, and it's great to see because it just gives us more capability for self-defense. It gives us more confidence having those extra rounds, and yet the size difference is very minimal. With the Kimber, I mean, you're stepping it up, and the quality of the Kimber is just excellent. The reliability has been great, and the accuracy. So I think that the Kimber R7 Mako is going to make an excellent firearm. And if you ever get into a self-defense situation, you got the Mako on your side. And we really appreciate Kimber for sending the R7 Micro 9 for this review. Rubber Dummies is one of the best training tools on the market, and you get a 10% discount using Suit00 when you click the link down in the description. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. And we really appreciate Kimber for sending the R7. And we really gives you a lot of options, especially if you're weak hand or you're weak hand. And so it gives you that added just confidence, okay? And guys, we have a lot of choices. Stupid moth. Your R7 Mako, which is a polymer frame